In this tutorial I'm going to explain about the materials, how you can create your own textures to add into the materials, how you can duplicate materials, and how you can modify them to make frame rates a little bit better when exported to game. To begin with, I've got just the basic track, and to that I'm going to add some side pieces which will contain grass. Do the outside first and then the inside, doesn't really matter. And then go to the template materials, select the ground that you want to use, click the add button, click it again to use the inside. At this point you'll notice that the materials we've used are displayed in the venues tab, and if we go to edit those materials now, you can see them sitting up here, also ready for us to dabble with. To begin with, I'll show you the tarmac texture. If you just click on that, it shows you the properties. The path here determines what this tree looks like. If you change some of these trees, then this branching will also change, so you can group textures, materials as you like. The description is whatever you like it to be. It's purely for your use only. Specular color and power determines what the surface is going to look like when light bounces off it. Play around with it to see the effects. The rFactor material name here should not be touched unless you really know what you're doing with these TDF files. They determine what kind of physical properties that these materials are going to have, whether they're going to be bumpy, whether they're going to be smooth, slippery, and also what noises are associated to them. Moving along to the next tab, and I'm probably going to expose a bug here in Bob's Track Builder, and it's one that I've not been able to squish, although it's not appearing just at the moment. Sometimes when you click these tabs, the material doesn't appear properly, and to fix it you need to grab the window, take it right down, pull it back up, and it magically fixes itself. I spent about 2 or 3 days looking into the problem, and the code behind it isn't that tricky, so in the end I've come to the conclusion it's a DirectX and .NET bug, if you like, and I'm hoping that when I upgrade to newer components that this bug is going to disappear. But for the time being, if you see it, just drag the window down and back up. I'll load up a new texture for my road, and here the bug appears already. Down and up, and it magically fixes itself. Really crappy looking texture, but it's just something I whipped up to show that there is actually a change going on. There's some other things here which some people may be familiar with. Whatever you do here is happening on a global scale, so if you rotate this texture, it's going to rotate wherever the Tarmac 01 texture is used throughout your track. When you're doing it under this surface materials form, then these effects are only taking place for that section of the track to which that material has been applied. I'm going to go into that in another tutorial at some stage, simply because it deserves a bit more attention just to itself. For now, I'll click the OK button, and we'll find that our texture is updated in the track. The other thing I'm going to do while we're here is modify the grass. Again, here's the bug. I'm going to ignore that for the moment. Just click the plus button, and we've created a second grass material. What I'm going to do here is clear the bump mapping on it. The reason I do that is that I want to improve the frame rates in rFactor, but only in certain places do I want to remove the bump. So I've created a copy of the property, and I really should be clicking this again because I didn't hit the OK button. So let me just clear that again. We'll go into our properties here, and I'll just put no bump on the end there, and click OK. We'll go back to our surface now, select this piece, and I'm just, at the moment that's using grass 001. We'll just pull that in so the closest piece to the track is still using the bump mapping, and we'll select our material here, click the plus button, and now we have the no bump version on the outside. When people are driving along, they're probably going to notice some of the bump mapping on the closer materials, but for stuff that's further away, and you know, if the grass was actually quite a long way away and quite extensive, then there's no point putting bump mapping on it because people just won't notice the difference. In fact, even for your closer up materials, a lot of people don't put bump mapping on grass. Play around with the effect and try it for yourself. The other things I'll explain is these minus buttons that can remove a material, but it will only do so if the material is not being used, and this button removes all unused materials. You may find that when you're in here looking at all these template materials, you may start clicking on all different roads and they'll accumulate in your venues material. If you come up here and click the remove unused, then it's going to get rid of all of those. And that concludes this tutorial.